June 13th and we just got into Icon. We have a lot of work to do in the next few days. Let's recap what we've already done for final projects and what we need to do. We finished the final mix for the Bring Me the Horizon track. We also finished mastering the 10-track multi-genre album. And I think that's it, because I think we had 5 and we have 3 more to go, which are, we have to mix a Piers track. I've got 40 stems from my buddy Charlie. I gotta mix that, get it sounding really good, hand it in. Then we have the sound design final, which is to synthesize an entire track. Every single part in this track must be synthesized. The only thing we're allowed to use are multi-sample drums, and I have an Ableton stock thing that I'm using to layer up my synthesized drums with real drums. And then of course, advanced vocal production, our 2-track EP. The sad thing is I didn't get the feedback for Checkpoint 2 until after I was already done my time in the studio recording the vocalist. No fault to the instructor, but there's a bit of a lag with the way that homework's handed in and then marked. For example, just today, I got the feedback for my rough mix for the Bring Me the Horizon track. Well, I'm already done the final mix, so it's not totally helping me, and I'm definitely not going to go back and do it again. I do look at the feedback. It's very, very useful information hearing a professional's opinion on what I'm doing. We have our work cut out for us. I'm super tired, but we're just going to keep on pushing. We need to get to work. Stop blabbing on as we always do. Talk to you later. So for the final project for advanced mixing class, we had to take a Piers track and mix the stems, do everything we need to do to make them sound the best we possibly can. So we have the reference track and then we have our mix. I'm gonna go to a few sections here, do a little bit of comparison, and then you tell me what you think in the comments below. Check it out. So I've got a ton of effects going on different groups, VQ'd everything, try to get it all to fit together. All I tried to do with this mix is improve the original reference material. Just that little bit of extra love. Let's check some more of this out. So there you go, my final project for advanced mixing class. Good morning, Tuesday, April? June 14th. We just got into Icon and I believe we have finished every project except for our advanced vocal production final project. 2-track EP, you know I've been recording with Brittany Egbert, and yeah, it's just basically polishing up these tracks, producing out the vocal to the best of my abilities. We've got some tuning left. I want to lock in my effects, EQing, compression, and just get things gelling really, really well in the mix. Unfortunately, I didn't receive my feedback for Checkpoint 2 until after my vocal recording sessions were already done. So there's some stuff we gotta change later, but that's okay. It's Tuesday. We have kind of a fun day. Most of this week should be fun. 1 o'clock, we're in the classroom for mastering, and this is kind of a free-for-all class to make sure we hand in our final project, but for the duration of the class, we essentially get to grill the instructor on any mastering questions we might have. And then it's off to advanced mixing, where we will be showing the class our final mix of our Piers track, the track from my buddy Charlie that I showed you yesterday. Go follow Charlie at Primary Being on Instagram. Come on, just do it. Today, I do not have my mentor session. We're doing a makeup mentor session for when I had COVID, but that's not until Thursday evening. I'll pop back on here later, let you know how our finals are going. Hello there. It is Thursday, June 16th. Yep, Thursday. Yesterday was absolutely an insane day. Probably the biggest final vocal production. I didn't realize, this is my own fault, that number 1, we had to write an essay, and number 2, we had to hand in both project files. And it kept failing to upload. From basically the get-go yesterday, we were working on our final projects, getting those in. I have some really good news though. We did our mastering practical exam in the mastering studio, and we passed. We actually got 95% on that. There was one minor thing that we mixed up, but yeah, our instructor said we did a really good job, and he has full confidence in me to run that entire mastering studio. So I am officially qualified for life in that mastering studio. So anytime I come to LA and I want to do some mastering of my own work. I could jump in there, use all the analog hardware that I need, and I'm just super stoked because I would not have had this opportunity had I not came and done this course. When you're in the online program, you don't have access to this building. Only the LA in-house students do. So I am just really grateful for this opportunity. So the big one, let's just talk about it. We had our advanced vocal production final, and this was a listening session with our teacher and the other students. This was actually super nerve-wracking, probably the most nerve-wracking final that I have, because yeah, we had to play these tracks in front of our peers and in front of our instructor and get feedback. Brittany and I have been working really hard, and it's just a lot of work that we had to do in what I consider a short amount of time. One of the pieces of feedback that I shared in my course critique was that I wish that for vocal production, they would have assigned us the final project day 1. I feel like I was rushing with them assigning it on week 6. And lo and behold, guess what the feedback was I got from my instructor? Well, it feels like you need more time to really iron this track out. So all in all, if I'm honest, like that was a lot of work to do, and I was kind of feeling a bit bummed out at the end of it. I know I did a lot of good work and stuff, but I couldn't help but like think that I could have done better, or I could have had the tracks to a more polished level, but it doesn't really matter. I can just continue working on those tracks with Brittany. All right, so we are on Thursday. We got our hair done today. I'm feeling good. Part of my self-care routine is getting my hair cut, getting my hair done. So I'm feeling pretty freaking good. Also, we just finished our final mentor session with Eric Promani, who is an amazing musician, drummer, bass guitar player. I loved having his perspective on my electronic music. It's really eye-opening when a actual musician comments on your music and gives you feedback. It's a totally different perspective, and I really enjoyed working with him this quarter. Last but not least, tomorrow is our last final, and that is for advanced sound design. I'm taking an idea I had probably in my first 2 or 3 weeks of a drum and bass sound that I did, and I'm using that for the foundation of my final track, which I will definitely be showing you tomorrow. I'm hoping that they mark all the finals by Saturday, Sunday, so I can do a full recap of all the grades that I've gotten throughout this whole semester. I can see the finish line. We're almost done. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, June 17th, and it is my official last day, and then Saturday is the last day of the quarter before break. I've definitely got a lot of stuff that I want to go over for the end of quarter, a little bit of review, go over my marks, go over the classes, but today, first and foremost, we have our very last advanced sound design class, and we are presenting our fully synthesized track. I'm doing one last pass at it this morning, show you what I came up with. We're sitting out here in the courtyard, my last day of classes, and I'm feeling grateful. I'm feeling excited, and I am feeling nervous, to be honest. 21 months I've been going to school, and yeah, this is an exciting new chapter. We've been in a huge period of growth for our music production. I'm super glad that I came to Icon to take these engineering advanced level courses. Now, I don't really know what more to say. This has been a very long journey, and it's only the beginning, really. Coffee time, and then we're gonna get into the studio. Let's give you a breakdown of my sound design final. We'll start it from here, the long breakdown. And yeah, this is what I submitted. Every single thing in here was synthesized by me. I made all the percussion, made the bass sounds, made the effects, made the fills, you name it, I made everything. Take a listen. How about that? Some fun kind of break beat, drum and bass situation. Really love the bass line that I did for this one. Totally experimental. First time making this kind of music. Let me know what you think in the comments. Well, good afternoon. It is shortly after advanced sound design, and we already got the mark pretty crazy fast. We got 90% on our sound design final. I did, it's not really drum and bass, I kind of considered it drum and bass, but we did a breakbeat track. That's the one you just heard. And I think we did a pretty good job. I kind of wanted to lock in my percussion a little better, but honestly, feeling pretty burnt out towards the end of the quarter here. And obviously the mark reflects our work, and we did extremely well. It was actually such a fun way to end the quarter. Everyone got to go up to the front of the class, share their track. Mostly the instructor gave feedback for this one, as opposed to the vocal final where everyone gave feedback. But it was really, really cool to see the varying levels and the different genres, and there were even a few people who sang on their track. One thing I've been finding lately is, like, as a producer, I can always hear the details and the different sections of my music, whereas when somebody else hears it, they're taking the full thing in at once. And so that kind of like changes the perspective of things, because conversely, when I hear someone else's track, that's what I'm doing too. Anyways, I am feeling so good. 18-month long online music production program, 3-month long advanced grad bundle program. We are done. 21 months of school. I can't believe it. Onwards and upwards. This is the start of the next chapter. So I wanted to quickly jump in here and give you a detailed breakdown of the marks I received for the grad bundle advanced program. This was a temporary program. This was something that was being run for grads of the LA program, where they were offering a few courses that they would have missed during COVID. By a brilliant stroke of luck, as an online student, I got to come down and do about half of the last quarter of the LA advanced program, which is a total of 6 months. As you can see, we are in advanced mastering theory, and in total we got 91.52%, which is a fantastic mark. And of course, my usual disclaimer, if you've been following the vlogs, marks are really secondary at Icon compared to understanding the concept. Here are all of my marks for each assignment. Didn't do too hot on the midterm, mixed up a bunch of things as I explained back in week 6. This one here, mastering an EP, apparently I accidentally turned in the original tracks rather than my master tracks, so bombed that one for sure. And in the advanced program, there are no late assignments. You cannot hand anything in after the due date. Also, each assignment is only open for its designated week, so you have to get these assignments done. We have the final project here, master compilation album, various genres. We got 58 out of 60. The live student submissions, so we were mastering levels 1s to 3s. We got 35 out of 40. More importantly, my instructor assessment of 100%. All right, let's move on to the next course. This one's super duper straightforward. I mixed up 2 buttons, a red and a blue button, on my actual mastering studio certification, and that's where I got dock marks, and those are the only marks we didn't get for being in the mastering studio, which is pretty freaking awesome. Next up, advanced mixing. In total, we got 90%. And yeah, if you look at my mixing marks, this is actually giving me a big confidence boost. Nothing too crazy. Even in our very final 2 assignments, this is the one where I mixed my classmate Charlie's track. We got 90% on that. And then our final Bring Me the Horizon mix, 91%. Instructor assessment, 94 out of 100. Very good. Overall, 90%. And yeah, let's just go. So we mixed an EDM track. This track was a rap track. This is the Lumineers indie rock. This Maya Strobe thing was like funk pop or something. James Bay was like poppy guitar, piano, chill stuff. And then of course we ended with a 100 track synth metal assignment. Really, really enjoyed this class. Next up, advanced sound design. And this one and advanced vocal production are not finished being assigned. The reason why our mark is so low for this one is because we technically failed the midterm because we did not hand in the full Ableton project. But as you can see, overall with the concepts, we did quite well. My sound design final track that you heard, we got 90% on that. Last but not least, advanced vocal production, total mark 86.25. Once again, this one is not fully graded yet. If you haven't been noticing on the left here, this is everything that we learned. We learned Melodyne, we learned creative effects. We had to do that insane final project. We did really well with our checkpoints for that though. And then yes, the instructor hasn't had time to grade our final assignment, which is totally fine. It literally just happened a few days ago, and there is a lot going on at the end of the quarter. Also, I haven't received my assessment when we had to take our turn in the hot seat in the recording studio that I showed you. But yeah, overall, I mean, we know what we're doing. Sometimes it's a matter of self-confidence, second guessing yourself, and music is subjective. So, I mean, these marks generally reflect that, at least according to this criteria, I'm doing quite well as a vocal producer. And that's the mark breakdown. Any questions? Leave them in the comments below. We end how we began, outside of the Icon Collective building. What an amazing 3 months we've had at Icon. Doing the grad bundle program, getting approved for the mastering studio. We can come back here and use it anytime we want. 21 months total we've been attending Icon between the online program and this course. I could not be more grateful for how everything is turning out. We've met some amazing people along the way, amazing collaborators, new friends. To actually come to the school itself and be part of the collective in person, honestly, there has been nothing better than that. I wish I could have done the full in-house LA program, but it just didn't work out like that. And honestly, the way things are unfolding for me right now, I'm not mad about it at all. I'm a pretty sentimental, emotional guy, so things coming to an end is always quite hard on me. But really, this is only the beginning of my music career, and what a privilege it is to have started my music career by going to a school like Icon Collective. I'm super grateful, and I just want to thank each and every person who has watched one of my videos and is following along. I'm definitely not going to stop the videos. I'm going to take a break from the vlog for the foreseeable future, but tons of music, tons of content. We are going for it, and I'm so happy that you're along for the ride. All right. We'll talk to you soon.